Welcome to today's Thursday, November 9th workshop. And Barry, if you want to get started.
Okay, good morning, Commissioners. We have a pretty full agenda. First up, we do want to take item number 3, Palm Harbor Community Services Agency update. They're going to give you a brief update. We'll ask Phil to come forward, kind of talk about their agency, what they do, and some of that background. And then we have a couple of internal items, utility ordinance update and an update on the North County Service Center before we do agenda review. So with that, Phil, you're up.
Small, intimate little meeting with nobody hardly here. That's what I was. So.
Hey, Phil, come over.
The
All
microphone,
right,
yes.
I kind of like that table. Sorry. But my notebook doesn't stand on this one, so.
Actually, just reverse them and people will just walk to that one.
We're good. I'm Phil Phillips. I'm the chairman of the Palm Harbor Community Services Agency, fondly known as FICSA. We even gave you the pronunciation up there so you know who we are. FICSA was established back in 1985. I think you all know who we are, but I'm going to read through a couple of things really quick. The Palm Harbor Community Services Agency was created in 1985 per Pinellas County Ordinance 85-28 to provide library and recreation services to the residents of Palm Harbor Community Services District. We've grown. Originally it was just the Palm Harbor Library and Palm Harbor Parks and Rec. Now we are Palm Harbor Library, Palm Harbor Parks and Rec, Eastlake Community Library, and Eastlake Recreation. And my directors are here, and we have a representative from Eastlake Rec here today. In case you have any questions, and I've got a good support from my board and some board members here as well to answer any questions that I can't answer, but I can't imagine that that's going to happen because they think I'm a know-it-all. So we'll see how it happens. So we were formed. There's an ad valorem tax of 0.25 mils for the library services and 0.25 for recreation. 50 cents on every $1,000 assessed valuation. The agency is governed by an 8-member board of directors, 4 of which you all appoint, and 4 of which are appointed through our advisory boards from each of the entities. We meet every 3rd Wednesday of each month, 7 p.m. We work under the Sunshine Law, so it's an advertised meeting. It's public. We invite your attendance. Commissioner Eggers does make it most of the time. Nancy's there, and we have good representation from the county, and I think we do a good job with that. So I'm going to buzz through these slides on our PowerPoint real quick and just highlight a few things. You all have this. I think you've all had a chance to review it and take a look at it, and if you have any questions, you can call it out. I've got a few other things I want to go through as well. But our mission statement that we have on our letterhead is the mission of the Palm Harbor Community Services Agency, Inc. is to develop, provide, promote educational and recreational activities that support and improve the quality of life for all residents of the greater Palm Harbor area. And that's all of Palm Harbor, all of the unincorporated Palm Harbor area. We've been tasked by you all to manage the Library and Recreation Department funds, the financials, and hire and fire the directors. That's our responsibility as we see it. Do we do a little bit more? Yes. We've morphed into a little bit more. Our meetings, we take into consideration any concerns that our directors have, and we discuss it at our meetings. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. But Palm Harbor Community Service Agency, when we started, 1985, how we grew in the 90s, the purchase of some property, the increase, of the building, 2013, on up to today. You've had a chance to read this. I'm not going to read through everything. The members, who we are. That's who we are. There's 8 of us. We're citizens of North Pinellas. We're volunteers. We're businessmen and women that have jobs or have had jobs. We give of our time because we love our community. We love our libraries. We love our recreation department. So that's what we're there for. We're not specialists in library services. We're not specialists in recreation. We're volunteers. And we think we represent the citizens of our county very well. Our leadership, our volunteers. There's a little misprint on here. 15 under Eastlake Recreation was supposed to be 150. Kind of changes things a little bit. But the thing I want you to see is the total annual budget for 24, $6,878,285. The ad valorem, we get $5 million. What does that mean? It means we have to raise $1.8 million outside of the ad valorem in order to perform what these four entities do. And one of the things that we've done to increase revenue is our director at the East Lake Community Library has set up a passport office. So we actually issue passports out of our East Lake Library, don't we, Lois? And Lois is the one that did it. And I just want to let you know that she got an award just yesterday or day before yesterday. Lois, just real quick, just stand up and tell me what that award is.
Every year there is.
Sorry.
I have a loud voice.
She does.
Every year, the Department of State and the Miami Passport Office will send out representatives from their office to do an audit of every passport agency in the state. And they will stay for the whole day. We had to do mock passport appointments. They asked a whole barrage of questions, and just, that happened October 25th, and just Tuesday, we received a certificate of special achievement in that we got a perfect score at the East Lake Library. So I am very proud. It's not me, it's my staff, and we would not be able to do what we do without them taking away from their other tasks and responsibilities and being passport agents and providing this service to the community. So we're very proud of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Lois.
Thank you.
So that's just one way that we raise more funds. And we have other things that we do through our libraries, through our parks and recreation. We just had a huge Touch a Truck event at the rec department, huge success, Halloween carnival, you name it, we're doing it. So we appreciate everything that the county does for us. These are our volunteers. East Lake Recreation, just going through, you've seen this. This tells you it's the numbers, but it's all about the kids. Our recreation departments, the biggest thing they touch are thousands of lives, our kids. Like I said, I'm not going to read through this. This is provided to you for a lot of information, which you have in your file, what we do, our different programs, the community library, what we give you, what we give back to the community. Your return on your investment. Every dollar spent on a library, we say, and per the statistics that we're giving back, you're getting a return on investment of over $8. Palm Harbor Parks and Recreation, we run many facilities through Palm Harbor Parks and Recreation. We've got the Harbor Hall, we've got Sunderman, Putnam, many locations. One of the big things I want to thank you for is the MSTU grant program. That's huge to us. It's huge to every single one of our entities. Picking a special project and having it funded is amazing. It helps our budgets, it helps the expenses, and it's renewing some of the capital that we have. We just went through a restroom remodel process at Pop Stancil, and it's something that was needed, and it's great. Community programs, we do everything, and I think I'm at the end, so I'm not going to hash through that. So we're very good stewards of the taxpayers' money. Each of our advisory boards, and just to kind of give you a lesson, I heard somebody say this is FICSA 101. So each one of our advisory boards reviews the financials of their entity. That's done at the advisory board level. Then it's brought to FICSA at our Wednesday meetings every third Wednesday. And then we review the financials. We have a treasurer, and the treasurer has taken the checkbook. He's looked at the statements to see if there's any anomalies. Every check that goes through any of our entities has to have 2 signatures, so it gets reviewed twice. It gets reviewed the 3rd time, the 4th time, the 5th time. So, we watch every penny that's spent. The financials presented to the board, if our director has a normal expense of over $10,000, they have to get our approval. They have to get their advisory board's approval before they can spend it, and they have to come to our board for our approval. And that's how they have to work it, because so they they're held to that. But one of the things that you all have done, for us, and I just heard last night that the Harbor Hall and the chapel's getting a new roof. Just the hall. The hall's getting a new roof, and thanks to the county on that. And that's something that the new capital program has allowed us, the county, on these big capital improvements, to work with the county to pay for that, where 10 years ago, it was coming out of our budget. And so we would have to have a roof raising fund. We'd put that thermometer out there and we'd show how much money we were, raising to put that roof on. And we don't have to do that. So it allows us to now fund our programs better. And with that being said, I have to say this because my board voted for me to say this to you. So we talk about in the budget process, I know there's been a lot of going back and forth, and I understand now more about what rollback means, and thanks to our budget staff and everything, I've gotten a lesson this last year. I get that, okay? But we come to you, we survive or we die by our ad valorem. And we are looking at programs. We see the need for more money. This is not the time for me to ask you for that, but we see as our programs grow and we have more people, coming in, and, even though we look at we're landlocked, but there's still more development. There's still more stuff going on. We've got more children. We've got more people. The libraries have so much more that, needs to be done. We're looking at coming to you and saying, hey, how do we increase this ad valorem? So I know that's not something anybody likes to talk about, but we're going to have a need for additional funds, and we're looking at every way we possibly can do it. Believe me, these directors, they work themselves to death finding new programs and new ways to raise money and have fundraisers. In fact, I'll keep mentioning Lois. We had a wine knot, and, it's always about wine, I think. I don't know what it is, but it's the Italian. And I understand also, I did not tell you the true accolades. Lois just won the eggplant Parmesan cook-off contest that they had too, so I have to mention that. So we need more money, but that's something else. One of the things that we're also tasked to do, and I'm going to use Matthew to hand out, I'm going to give you, he's got a little handout for you, just kind of gives a little bit of a directory as who we are, how we go to each other, and then it's also our bylaws. So I just wanted you to have that. I didn't mean to kill more trees. I could have sent it to you electronically, but I felt like I needed to have something to hand out, and this is why we hired our new director of the Palm Harbor Library, so he could be here today to hand out these packets to you. So with that, this is my little segue into hiring and firing. So Matthew, come here. This is our new director of the Palm Harbor Library.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
I was asked, one of the things that came back to me is, you're responsible for hiring and firing. How do you do it? Well, we don't do it very often. And so it's not something we do every day. It's not something we do every year. It's not something we do every 2 or 3 years. And thank God we don't. So when somebody retires, and I hope that's how it is, that we lose a director through retirement, that they've served and they've enjoyed it and they've decided to still live in the community and they retire. And then that gives us the opportunity to put out requests for resumes and to advertise a job opening, which is what our advisory board does at the entity level. So they, through our HR department, Deborah, they advertise for a job. Those resumes come in, the advisory boards review those. They then call for interviews. I believe you came in for an interview more than once.
Yeah, multiple, yeah.
Multiple. And then the advisory board takes the recommendation, and then that's brought to FICSA. That's brought to us. It was brought to our meeting 2 months ago, and we don't just go, okay, approved. Okay, so we called a special meeting so that we could have the candidate come in. So Matthew came in, and we sat down and we interviewed him through a special meeting, went through the recommendations of our Palm Harbor Library Advisory Board, and then we grilled him. I'm sorry, we did.
You did.
And so we go through questions and answers, and then we unanimously had a motion to approve him as the new director. Then that vote is then brought to our next meeting, our next regularly called meeting, to ratify it. And we did that process. And so, Matthew, if you have, this is your chance. Say hello to the Board of County Commissioners. Am I putting you on the spot? Just say hi and,
No, but when you said hiring and firing, I was like, which one is it going to be right now? So. No, I'll just say a quick hello. I'm got a chance to meet most of you, but not all of you right before we started here today. I'll just say that I've been in libraries for 25 years. It's a field that I care about passionately. I think about it all the time, even when I'm not at work. And I'm very happy to be here. This has been a very supportive group. My staff is fantastic, and so are my partners within the FIXA organization. I also want to piggyback on that thank you regarding the roof, because Palm Harbor Library just is in the final stages of a roof replacement that, again, may not have been possible so soon, even though it was desperately needed. And so that support is essential, and we do our best in kind to provide essential services to the people we serve. I'm going to do my best to do that. So good to meet you all.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's good.
So that puts us through running the budget, approving financials, hiring, haven't had to fire yet. We'll see what happens. So that's who we are. We're the Palm Harbor Community Services Agency. We work for you. But remember, we're volunteers, so be easy on us. So any questions? I've got everybody here to answer questions, so.
Commissioner Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Well, let me first by saying thank you. I enjoyed our chance to get together a little earlier this year and spend some time. And I think one of those early slides, that how we started slide, was probably the most important slide, because it kind of told the origin of how this organization came together out of the creation of the citizens themselves, and then how it evolved to where it is today. And appreciate everyone who's involved. I want to thank Jenny Goad, my appointment to the board. I guess my question is, how much, or what would you like to see besides more money? What would you like to see from the commission as a whole, or individual commissioners, to support your mission?
Well, you all do support us. You support us very well. In fact, one of the things I'm excited about is this opportunity. We have not done this before. Our directors have set up individual meetings with each and every one of you, and it's all by yourselves, because you can't meet together because there's sun in Florida, and that's the Sunshine Law keeps you from doing things like that. And to be able to stand here in front of you all and have my directors and my board members here, we want to do this more often. We would like to come back, if it's every year annually, then maybe it's every year. And that way we can stay abreast of any issues or any problems that we have, or something that's coming up. I know we push constantly for the penny for Pinellas, and that's money. I realize that. But, these things are important to us. We don't have, I know there's projects everybody has. I know Eastlake Recreation, we need a building up at Eastlake so bad, because their facilities, they could be so much more if they had something to operate out of. Maybe that's their fault. You need to raise a couple of $1 million. Come on, get your act together. But it's anything we do up there is a county capital improvement. You're gonna own that building. And so the more support we can get from you for those programs. The library, we want to add a second floor on a library. We want to do, we've got these grand plans. But, we're struggling because of money, and don't we all? My wife wants to do things, and I keep telling her I'll ask the BOCC tomorrow if they'll give me some money, but I don't think it's going to happen. We're here, so is there, you heard the question, is there something that we need from the Board of County Commissioners, more support?
I think basically keeping the lines of communication open. If there are any issues that comes to the attention of any commissioner, okay, we want to hear about it. We are the stewards of these buildings, of these fields, okay? And, the most important thing is communication.
Yeah, and that is huge for us. If you all are wondering, don't wonder, ask. Send us an email. Deborah's our HR director. Everything can come through Deborah, but I'm approachable. My email's, in there. You've got my FIXA email. You've got every director's email. I mean, we're just as approachable as you are. And, communication, if there's a question, if there's a concern, I'd much rather hear about it from you all than to see it on Facebook or something like that. And I just, we're an open book. I mean, beyond that, we love to communicate with you guys. And I know, and you know what, I wasn't gonna say this, but I'm gonna anyways. I've got 4 directors, and they all are independent business owners, okay? They each own their business, and they fight for their business. But we also come together, and when I say business, I mean their entity. They fight for that because that's what they own. But we all also work together. We combined our services to shop insurance, to shop trash, to do programs together to save money. But they are independent, so they have to fight for their money. So will they reach out to you all? Sure, they're gonna. There's gonna be those times, and I go back into my childhood, and my dad always told me, and it's that old adage, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And the one I really love, if you don't toot your own horn, it's not gonna get tooted, because if they don't tell you how great a job they're doing, and they don't advertise it, then you go on and you talk about maybe the storm sewer project, or something down in Lealman, or something going on somewhere else. And we want you to know what we're doing up in Palm Harbor. And so that's gonna happen independent of FICSA, but it also happens through us. But communicate.
Very good. And we're always going to talk about what's happening in Lellman, but
I didn't mean to put that off, but hey, I'm here to toot my horn. I'm about Palm Harbor, so.
And I would tell, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I had a meeting early in the morning in North County, and so I took the opportunity to go around and spend some time with each of the areas, and a couple of them were like, why are you here? What's going on? Worried about it. But it was a great day to just get updated and like you say, keep those lines of communication open. So thank you for all you do.
Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, thank you for being here, all of you. And I just had a couple of comments because I just have to brag about you guys just a little bit. What I really like about it's a really community-focused group. So they have their lanes about library services and Parks and Rec, but they're so involved in so many ways with the entire community. It is an unincorporated area, but these are the folks that make it feel like their own municipality almost. And they're really dedicated professionals, each one of them. And to your point earlier, you guys and gals are on the board are volunteers, and you rely on these folks to deliver. I've shaked my head over the time that I've been involved and wondered how we can merge some of the things we do at the county to help you guys out on the personnel insurance side and that kind of thing, because frankly, it's a tough world out there trying to keep people financed properly and serviced properly. But in any event, I want to also take a chance to thank the board, because they work for free. And they work many hours, and they just had a retreat a couple of weeks ago on a Saturday to deal with a whole bunch of issues, because we all have things that we need to talk about. And they kind of went in and did some real good work, I understand. I didn't get a chance to be there. But you guys have really set a model. I know we're going to be talking about some things down in the Seminole area. And what kind of organization do we have out there to model after? Well, we have one right here. So. And then I would just say that from the financial side, the MSTU grants, cities have these opportunities to help out all the time. And we thought that it was a good idea just to give a little extra so that you guys could take dollars and focus into the programming that you were really hired to do. And it's the same with the Capitol. These are our buildings. This is our property. So we need to take care of the shell, and we did that major change about 4 or 5 years ago. Really proud of that. And again, $350,000, $450,000, whatever it is to replace a roof is a lot of money that you can put into services. And I think that's going to be, that'll work wonders. So just keep up the great work, all of you. True professionals, true folks that listen to their community big time. And I just really want to take the opportunity to brag on you guys a little bit. Thank you.
Well, I thank you. And don't get me wrong when I say about money. I mean, you all have been a huge support to FICSA and our entities. The fact that we can come to you for additional services outside of, what we're responsible for. Your individual departments work with us, even down to furnishings. I mean, we've been able to take advantage of, yeah, excuse me? Oh, putting a Christmas tree up, having the ability, the equipment to erect that Christmas tree that's now, how tall, Erica?
22 feet.
22 feet tall. The first year it was out there, it was like here, and I said, wow, that's our Palm Harbor Christmas tree? But now it looks great, and we have this, great Christmas tree lighting, celebration, and Commissioner Eggers, I think you've lit the tree, so we're going to get you to push the button again this year, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Unless one of you all want to push it, and we can kick him out of that. Well, no, we're not going to do that. No, we're not
They
going to.
can come stand right there with me.
But your support, I mean, it's huge. All that you do, I'm not belittling that at all. Our board, no, we don't all see eye to eye about everything, but we do see eye to eye about what's important. And we do see eye to eye in what we give back to the community. And if there's ever any question of that, you call me, because you've heard the wrong thing, if that's what you hear. So, anything else?
Thank you. Thank you all for the presentation, and thank you all of you for the hard work that you all do. You do a great, great job, and we're just so proud that you're doing such a great job. So thank you, and thank you for coming.
Oh, seriously, we are so happy to do this. We want to come back, so go ahead and put us on your calendar. Tell us when. We'll be here.
Thanks. Barry, what's next?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, and he mentioned storm sewers, but we're going to go into regular sewers, and Jeremy Wall is coming up for some utility update, resolution ordinance updates.
Morning. Water, not sewer, water. I have a couple of items that we've been talking about behind the scenes that we thought it's appropriate timing to bring before you. Both of them will involve proposed changes to ordinance and resolutions. We don't have the draft language here together quite yet, but we're working with our legal department on what the actual language would be. The first one revolves around our reclaimed, not clicking.
Advance.
Our reclaimed water volumetric billing. So earlier this year on October 1st, we adopted our new reclaimed water billing rates. Earlier this year in the summer, we started installing our AMI meters. So those two things are running together. We need the new volumetric meters, the AMI meters, to measure actual volumetric rates and applying the new rate structure. We're at the point now where we have collected 3 months of data from the new meters that have been in the ground. To date, we have 2,000 reclaimed meters in the ground, most in North County, but some in South County, and ready to start applying those rates. We are keenly aware that this will be a new rate structure to our customers, and we wanted to provide a adjustment period where we can show the customers what the actual volume that they're using are and give them a chance to adjust their behavior prior to being billed for that. So that's what the proposed resolution change will be. I put some additional context in here. When we adopted this rate structure on the reclaimed, it's more about adjusting customer habits and having more water available to more customers. It's not a revenue generator for our department. Obviously, we'll collect money, but we're collecting money today. And we are not anticipating that the additional rates will give us more revenue. So this change doesn't affect us financially from a business standpoint.
But you're asking for a grace period, and that would be the modification?
So the modification to the resolution would be a grace period to the volumetric billing. They would still receive the flat rate billing that they're receiving today
So they get a flat rate for how long?
for an additional 4 months.
Okay, so that's the request, Commissioners, is that we change the resolution which had it effective in October 1, and we give a grace period where they can show people what the bill would be, but not actually implement it until the end of that 4-month period. Okay?
Commissioner Hester.
Question real quick. with that, will we be able to give them any sense of, any feedback sense in those first 4 months, how they're doing
Yes.
volumetrically? So,
Yeah, so we have, on December 20th, we're going to have our, what we call the customer portal, which would be the online access where you go and view your rate structure and your actual volume build, will be turned on. That's the words we're going to use. We've been collecting the data for the meters that have been installed for the last 3 months, so we have the data internally. But you run into this chicken and the egg. If we just turned on the meter in the portal, the first couple months, it would show 0, or the graph would not show the historical perspective because we haven't captured volumetric billing before we installed the meter. So we wanted to have enough data to give people a historical perspective before they just got the bigger bill. So we're ready to do that in December for the meters that have already been installed. And the idea would be that from that point, you would get a 4-month grace period to understand your usage. You would see what the bigger bill would be. So it's not just the usage. Like, we're going to charge you, I'll just make up a number, $40. You would have been charged $60 based on this usage, and then have time to work with the individual customers to reduce their usage to accommodate what their budget it would be.
and that'll be 4 months after their individual meters installed.
Their individual meter installed and turned on, tested, so we test them, we make sure the data is correct before we turn it on.
So the grace period could literally last off and on for different people for probably 8 months into this.
Yeah, so we're anticipating that by June of '23, all 17,000 reclaimed customers will have a meter.
24.
Sorry, June of '24, June of next year. All 17,000 metered customers will be metered, and then that would give them 4 months from there. But the meters that are in the ground today, your 4 months would start.
Is that meter installation including any new water meters that are being put in at the same time? Or are they?
The reclaimed meter and the water meters are not going, individual customers will not get both on the same day. They are staged. We are focusing on the reclaimed meters first, but we are also installing water meters too.
Thank you.
Commissioner Scott?
Thank you, Madam Chair. So what sort of data are you getting? Is it the usage much higher than you originally thought it was, or what are you seeing?
So for the 2,000 meters, good question. We've collected the data since they've been installed. On average, we are 12,000 gallons a month. So that's across 2,000 meters. But we did look at every single individual account of the 2,000, and none of them are above 20,000 gallons a month. So I don't have a slide to show you, but if you recall, when we adopted the new rates, we set the threshold at 20,000 a month. Mm-hmm. So you would get, for your base rate, at least 20,000 gallons, and none of the current users have eclipsed that. Okay. So right now, we are within what we expected to be for a normal residential house.
But what it also means is that if you have people under a flat rate that are using less water, so their bill would actually go down, right? But and then others that conserve and decide to turn it on once a week versus 5 times a week, then they have a chance to bring that down, which frees up capacity to serve other customers that we currently don't have.
Can I correct that? Just
go ahead.
The way the billing structure is structured on reclaimed is that you pay a base fee, buys you X number of gallons.
Oh, okay.
So, and if you eclipse the base rate fee allotment, then you pay a per gallon charge. And we structured the rate structure so that the base rate fee progressively goes down for the next 4 years to a minimum of 15,000 gallons. So right now, our average user on the meters that we have already placed in the ground, all 2,000 customers on average are below the 2027 minimum usage rate. We know from anecdotal data at the plants and how much water we're producing that some users are going way over. None of the users that we've installed meters on today are part of that population that have gone over.
And then hopefully this will help with some of the pressure issues down in Tierra Verde.
Absolutely, it will help with the pressure issues as we spread the demand across. The problem we're having is that the people that are at the front of the line get more water, and the people at the end of the line, there's just not enough left for you.
Commissioner Eggers has another question.
Yeah, first of all, I think the meters will do wonders to identify any issues we have in our system, like leaks and that kind of thing. So when I first got here and I heard that we didn't have meters, it was like, how do you monitor anything? And including repair and maintenance, because each of those folks have to, turn off or wait till it's turned off, and the people that come out to fix can't do anything. So I'm looking forward to the rest of your presentation, but could you maybe talk a little bit about the relationship that we have with Innisbrook on reclaimed usage and how that factors in? I don't mean to our utility rates, but what's that relate? Because I've had a lot of calls that say, well, okay, so we're cutting back, and oh, by the way, we do have a water shortage decree. Maybe you can talk about that in a few minutes as well, but talk just a little bit about Innisbrook and that relationship and how it's good at times, because they use a lot that we don't have to dump, but if you don't mind.
Yeah, so we have a very special relationship with that community, in that they are our outlet valve when we have too much, right? So when we have too much water, have nowhere for it to go, they become the outlet valve, and they help us relieve the volume pressures we have at the plant. The benefit they gain out of that is they get a little bit of a first tack at the first cut of the pie, and in terms of their usage and their demands. And as far as the water restrictions, I heard you allude to, there are talks at both Tampa Bay Water and Swift Mud on applying some irrigation restrictions, water use cutting down to 1 day a week, possibly, right? I don't think they've passed that rule yet, but that is on the agendas in upcoming board meetings at those two agencies.
Thank you.
And just a caveat, so the public knows that would go for people that have reclaim as well?
Correct. So we apply the water restrictions to the reclaimed users as well as the potable water users.
Okay. And Commissioner Scott, did you have a follow-up?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. You can go ahead.
So there will be a resolution coming forth that proposes that language for a 4-month grace period from the date of install of reclaim meter. The second item that I wanted to go over with you is we've had some questions historically and even recently about our conversion of septic systems to the public sewer system. The current ordinance is written such that if a public county sewer is within 100 feet of your property, anywhere within 100 feet of your property, you are required to connect at your cost as the landowner or the homeowner. We also have a rule that encourages people to get off septic systems. So putting the burden of someone who wants to come off a septic system, the burden of connecting to the public sewer, well, why wouldn't I just fix the septic system I have? It's a cost analysis that individual homeowners might do. So just to give you an idea what this means, is that this is just a graphic that shows we could have a sewer line on one side of the street, and depending on where your house falls on that street, you're on the lucky side or the unlucky side of that public sewer system. When we design public sewer systems and install them, we're looking for best alignments, conflicts, roadways, so we don't always account for every house that's on a street when you're building miles of sewer lane. So in these cases, the house on the short side of the street must have a much easier time connecting than the house on the opposite side of the street, including roadway crossings, utility crossings, things that probably a homeowner or landowner trying to decide, should I spend $5,000 upgrading my septic system or just connect to the public sewer? It might be $30,000 to connect to the public sewer, depending on which side of the street you're on. So the proposed change that we're going to recommend to you is that for people that are requesting abandonment of their septic systems, that we make it allowable within the ordinance for the county to build a connection line, we call it a service lateral, up to the property line. To show you what that might look in the same exhibit, is that we would then build the public lateral to the property line, right? Nothing to inside the property, we would not touch their septic system, that's still all incumbent on the property owner. But it would allow us to build that lateral connection across if the public sewer is within 100 feet. But only at the time that they're requesting abandonment of the septic system. So this doesn't, it protects our ratepayers and that we're not building new lines out to virgin properties or developments that are going from one single house to 50 houses or something like that. That would still all be incumbent on the developer, but a single homeowner that wants to, it's facing this decision, should I update my septic system that I don't want anyway, but the public sewer is really not financially feasible for me to connect to. This allows for us to help them and meet the county goal of reducing septic systems for our overall water quality. So, any questions about that?
Oh, Brian, Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And Jeremy, thanks very much for bringing this forward. You and I had talked about that one issue a few months back. Is there any opportunity to use any of those grant funds to be able to do this, or would this have to come from reserves or general fund, or where would the funding come from to do
So it would not come out of general funds. So the utility system is an enterprise. So we have our own sewers funds based on ratepayers. The existing grants that we are currently awarded would not pay for this, these improvements. However, DEP does have lots of grant availability out there for individual lot owners. There may be more grants that come down the line that we would apply for to help more of these situations, but the existing grant that we have under the septic sewer project does not allow us to use the funds for this use.
All right, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you bringing this forward. I think it's definitely needed.
And Commissioner, we go after state allocations periodically, and we'll get those that we put into our septic to sewer conversion program. So it's specifically targeted to getting people off septic.
Commissioner Eggers.
Just to get a sense of our system and our unincorporated residents, what percentage are still on septic? And what do you see as a kind of a mid or long-term goal to get some of these larger areas? I mean, I know you can't. It's hard sometimes to adjust the system to do that. So
I don't have a percentage for you, so I don't have a number to quote for you. And it's also complicated by we control the Pinellas County public system, and there's lots of municipalities. There's lots of residents that may be on a septic system that we would encourage to get off that might be in another municipality's sewer district. Overall, we have pockets spread throughout the county of individual homes, or maybe a group of 8 or 9 homes in mid-county and south county. But our major, glut isn't the right word, our major population of septic users are in North County. We currently have a CIP project on the books. You recently just approved the rewards to the engineer of record to design that system it's off Keystone Road. There are 4 communities, about 200 houses. So we're using the grant funds that we've currently been awarded to hit the big pockets, spend the money where there's the most bang for the buck and amount of users. So most of our problem is in the Lake Tarpon area as a Pinellas County sewer owner.
thank you.
Commissioners, I want to add to that for information. When I was talking to Jeremy about this exact issue, we have another program that you're funding that you're well aware of, which is working with our mobile home parks, okay? And, in terms of bang for your buck, in terms of environmental protection and elimination of SSOs, Jeremy, that ranks right up there. So we have multiple priorities. So septic to sewer is important, but you get a real concentrated effort in these mobile home parks that are maintaining their own system and not maintaining them well, and that causes lots of issues. So we have lots of challenges, and they're working on both of those.
Commissioner Flowers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So once the septic is being abandoned, it should be filled in, if you will,
Yeah.
closed off properly. Are we sending anyone out to inspect to make sure that that is properly done, such that you don't have a sinkhole issue, even though it really is not technically a sinkhole, but it certainly would cause the ground to collapse around it?
So we do not as an entity, we do not inspect septic systems. That falls under the State Health Department and FDEP. There is a permit process to abandon septic systems, and they probably have inspections along with that.
Okay.
But it would be a requirement prior to us
Putting our lines,
putting our line out there, is we would need to see that permit. We're not just going to go build a line because you said, hey, build me a line, right? We would want to show that you're really abandoning your septic system, you've gone through the right steps and processes, and then we would create a project to build sewer to help you do that.
Yeah, and that was my question, because if you're running those lines to connect up to the home, and perhaps that septic system has not been completely abandoned, you could have a collapse, which could then affect, if we weren't checking it, which could potentially affect anything that we're running in. So, thank you, sir. Thank you, Madam.
Commissioner Agus?
Well, there was a recent collapse of a sewer line across County Road 1.
Yes.
When I was chatting with the folks up and around that area, there was some concern about, I mean, obviously replacing that line was critical. And by the way, you guys did a great job. But there was also some concern about the line going, east and west of what was actually replaced. So, and again, this isn't necessarily a discussion for today, but the condition and status of our sewer lines in general, when I first got on here about 8 years ago or so, I remember the outgoing utility director raised a yellow, red flag of concern about the condition of our sewer lines. So how are we doing? And again, not for today, but just, it'd be at some point, it'd be nice to have that kind of an update on the program that we have in place on those.
We actually have, the line that failed was a ductile iron pipe in the gravity system. We actually have CIP projects. It's running, you'll see that this year. We present again on our CIP budget, an entire program to remove ductile iron pipes in our gravity system, as well as in our force main system, which they're separate, both sewer, but pipe condition and pipe material is absolutely not on our radar. It's very high on our radar. We want to prevent these types of failures.
Well, again, thank you for your group's work on that, and I want to thank you personally for the work that you're doing since you've been elevated to your new position. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
So I do have a question, and I understand those iron pipes disintegrate eventually, but when we slip line them, doesn't that give a coating that protects it, or no?
Yes.
It does? Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. So even though you're removing them all, if you've slip limed them, do we still have to remove them?
No, so we make a decision, an engineering decision, if we're going to rehab it with a lining product or if we're going to replace it with a full pipe replacement. And sometimes, they give you a bunch of engineering stuff, but sometimes it's even not in good enough shape to line it. It's in such a bad shape that we can't even.
I completely understand that, and I know of many that have collapsed that we couldn't do that. So thank you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for your presentation. It was very informative, and I think you have consensus on both of those. Do we have consensus on both of those? Yes.
We'll
So
bring
you do.
these back as ordinance modifications.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Barry,
next
what
up,
have you got
Commissioners,
next?
we'll let Kevin introduce this topic, but this is probably one of the, you haven't heard about this for a long time, but there's been a lot of work, and that is around the North County Service Center. So today's an update of where we're at and the proposal going forward. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Kevin and let him introduce the topic.
Morning, Commissioners. Kevin Knutson, Assistant County Administrator. The reason I wanted to introduce this topic this morning, I'm actually going to have Tim Llewellyn, who's the project director, give you an overview of where we're at. It has been a while. We've gone through a lot of planning with our constituents who are going to be in the building to make sure that we do the most efficient design possible. But I also wanted to let you know that our Director of Construction Services, Jeffrey Brazil, has resigned as of the end of last month. He needed to go back to Pennsylvania to be with his family, and he regretfully gave his resignation. He was doing a great job for us. So Tim is not only the project director for the North County Service Center, but he's also our interim director while we look at the potential for replacing Jeff's position or maybe even trying out a new approach. So we're looking very carefully at what we're going to do moving into the future. But I wanted to introduce Tim and also let you know that the architect for this project is here to answer questions as well. Thanks, Tim.
Thank you, Kevin. I'm Tim Llewellyn. I'm the interim director, and I have been the PM for the North County Service Center since the last time we met back in May of '22. And at that particular meeting, we approved the project as well as our design professional, Mike Mason with Mason Blau & Associates, and our CM at risk creative contractors. So As a bit of a refresher, we've got our project goals up here. This is kind of to refresh you where we were at the point of that meeting a year ago, May. Once we had received that approval, we started with our programming effort, which included meeting with each of the three stakeholders, the tax collector, the property appraiser, and the clerk of courts, to get with them on several meetings to identify their needs, their wants, how the building should be laid out, and how to move forward with the project. Now, as with many construction projects, especially in early design, once you start having the meetings, the stakeholders have bigger ideas than maybe you anticipated. So when we wrapped up our initial programming, we were at 91,000 square feet for the building, which was a bit of a shock. So we went back and continued our programming effort and worked through more meetings with these stakeholders, and were able to reduce that to 80,000, which works well with the site and with the stakeholders as well. We were able to meet their needs with that number. So in July of this year, we began our schematic design phases, and this is a refresher on the site. I apologize, slow on the slides. We started our schematic design phases where we were then, working on floor plans that met those programming requirements. And just as the refresher, the building is at 29582 US Highway 19. You can see in the image on the right, it's the large box is the main building, and the smaller red box is a shed essentially that's going to be coming down with it. Our site is from that smaller red box to the east, all the way up to Highway 19. And as some of you may be aware, DOT has a Highway 19 road widening project happening currently, as well as a new pedestrian bridge being built from the corner of our site across 19 to where, currently there's an Olive Garden over there, and we have leased space for the tax collector. So that leased space is part of the need for this building, and the increase in size is we want to get those folks out of leased space and into county-owned property. So this is a view of the site as it is now, as we're wrapping up our schematic design phase. You can see on the left is a parking garage, and on the right is our new service center. And I have a breakdown of square footages there if you would like to go over them. To give you an idea of how it's working on the inside and what it might look like, we have 3 floors. Our ground floor is going to contain 98% of the customer service functions of all 3 entities, tax collector, property appraiser, and clerk. Office space and large assembly and training rooms occur on 2 and 3. And then down at the bottom, you can see kind of our schematic views of what the building may look like. We just completed our schematic design last week, so we were getting input on that sort of thing from the stakeholders and from ourselves with design, construction, and administration. And then to give you an idea, Mason Blau has presented us with, some potential what it may look like 3D renderings. So moving forward, as I mentioned, we just wrapped up schematic design. We're moving into design development, where we will hone in our selections for building systems, finishes, all of the stuff that people see and work with and operate every day, as well as the document development. Our goal is to complete that December, January, and then move into construction documents, and hopefully have a GMP along with an early procurement package in March or April of next year. So what that sets us up for is construction to start in August or September of next year, and then complete April or May of 2026. So that's the state of the project. So if you have any questions, I'll be happy to do my best to answer.
How does that fit with the budget?
We are, at this point, budgeted for it. I believe Chris could back us up on that. So we are working with the numbers that we received at the end of programming, beginning of schematic, and we are maintaining those numbers through the budget.
Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, thank you for asking that. And so from an architectural design standpoint, again, just from are costs evening out, or are we getting any kind of at all relief on the product costs? And are we leaning towards like tilt wall stuff to make it less expensive, or what kind of issues do you have with that kind of construction?
So on the construction side, I will let you know the costs of materials and labor are still kind of rough. They have not come back down per se, but they have kind of leveled out, and we've got creative contractors on board from the beginning, so they understand the market and are accounting for that through contingency and that sort of thing in these early numbers that we're receiving. As far as design approach for trying to save some of that money, I'll have Mike speak to some of the construction.
We did start looking at tilt wall at first, and the parking garage is actually a precast garage, so it's spandrel and double T's, and so the natural progression was to look at the building also in precast too. So it's a concrete panel, but it's precast. It's cast off site. So tilt wall is actually cast on site, and so we're using precast panels that the precaster that's doing the parking garage would provide also. So there's some efficiencies there. Instead, in lieu of using tilt wall, the other problem with tilt wall is that we don't have the square footage for site. So when we start laying those buildings down, we need casting beds and things like that. And so although tilt wall is very efficient, it's more difficult to do tilt wall on the site that we're at because we don't have the area for the laydown for the casting beds.
Okay, yeah, we got to keep that driver's course open so we don't have them out on that crazy 19 construction.
So the site plan that Tim showed you earlier is just half of the eastern half of the site. There's also a western 5 acres that includes the driving range that you just mentioned. And so we have to keep that open during construction.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just is the size and the scope and the planning for the space for the different constitutionals, has that changed from the very beginning, or is that still, I mean, was that the plan from the beginning as far as the amount of square footage that they're taking?
We had a feasibility study done towards the end of 2019, and we were given a number of 69,000 square feet for the building. It has grown since then. Like I say, we were up as high as 91, but we're back down to 80. Some of the causes for that are the stakeholders are now moving some additional folks from different areas into the building to kind of bring and centralize their services up at the North County location. There was also less hoteling and shared space and partial work days because as we came back to this, it was straight out of COVID. So people were getting used to these kinds of, oh, well, we can have, part-time employees in office so we can share workspace. What we weren't aware of is what percentage of each of those stakeholders' business was customer-facing. So folks that can't be, part-time in the facility. So while we were trying to adapt with the times, coming back from COVID, everyone is like, no, we want to go to as close to pre-COVID as we can, or at least with the ability to do so. And even still, those customer service locations weren't able to be reduced based on those factors.
Right. And then the second part we roll into, because it did seem a little bit bigger from what I remember, and it has been a minute, was then as we factor into something later in our agenda today about future space uses and that kind of thing.
And that's what I was going to mention, Commissioners. If you hit the, button number 3 on across the street, you'll come to an empty floor. Well, that was the tax collector, moving out of that space. So what you'll see is additional space here, but less space when we build a new building to replace a county complex. And so there is kind of a puzzle mix here. So you're building it one place or another. Our challenge is to make sure they have what they need, not necessarily what they want. They work together in partnership with our staff to share conference space and things like that, where initially the request was, I need conference, space and things like that. So those are some of the programming issues that they need to work through. That's what's taken in the time, but they've come at a compromise, and so it is bigger, but part of that will be offset when we talk about the next project.
One last question.
Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, and just on the $800,000 lease savings, is that an annual lease savings?
It is my understanding, yes, that's annually 800,000.
So I don't know how we're planning to pay for this yet, but so if you did a 20-year, 5%, 46 million, you're talking about 3.7 million a year. So you're saving a substantial amount of money on the lease side, and then obviously taking control of future needs right there. So I think and you get them all together. It just works from a.
Correct, and you have a building there that's, obsolete, and so if you stayed there, you'd still have to put money into it, and so you're deferring all that because now you have, updated facilities and systems.
Are we getting some savings on square footage as we come together, or?
Well, you're just going to have a more efficient building. We have a current building there, right? But it's not energy efficient. It requires maintenance. We're going to have to upgrade major systems. So there's, you're eliminating that cost by building new, along with your lease savings. So.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So expected life on this, 40, 50, 60?
Yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I don't see any more questions.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you again.
Okay. So we just want to give you that update because that's been that is a big project, and it's coming down to, the wire now, and you're going to see construction. What you're also seeing, though, is the way in which we're managing projects going forward. That's so important. You've heard design build forever if you've been around. This is not design build. This is construction manager at risk. We get to 80% of bids, we get a guaranteed maximum price. And then that construction manager is responsible for delivering that project on budget. It's all their risk. So we're shifting that risk. And so we have the quality aspects to see exactly what's going in, so we can assure that it's the right materials. And so I think you're going to see improved project outcomes as a result of the construction methods that we're using. Okay. So on to agenda review, because we do have a presentation along with the agenda review, and we'll get there. We do have a partner presentation. So Secretary Gwynn will be here. I'll give you an update on Florida Department of Transportation projects. So we appreciate him rearranging his schedule to be with us. So, we have vouchers and receipt for filings. If there's any questions on any of those. If not, we'll move on to item number 11, which is award a bid to Conan Graham for Old Coachman Road bridge replacement. This is a replacement of existing bridge. In addition to that, we have a project agreement, City of Clearwater, for relocation of reclaimed water lines along that. It's $6.8 million is that below the bid or the engineer's estimate. Item number 12 is ranking of firms with 5 firms for material and testing for professional consulting services. We did this in conformance with our federal requirements, so any of the capital improvement programs where we're using ARPA funds, it'll comply with those requirements under ARPA. So we did it as a broad thing. We can use them for a variety of our capital projects, but we separately did it and bid it so we can use those on and be eligible for funding under the ARPA funds.
On 11, for the bridge project, we're not using the folks that have delayed other bridge projects in North County, are we?
I haven't asked that question, but I can guarantee we're not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for asking. No, we won't use that firm. Item 13 is award of bid to Keystone Excavators for Paso Grill Way and for Gulf Way. This is water main improvements and sewer improvements. They're listed within your packet.
Commissioner Scott.
Doesn't City of St. Pete Beach have its own sewer system, or you do?
I thought they just redid that whole sewer system.
Yeah.
Took 3 years. I mean, it was.
City of St.
mess.
Pete Beach has its own sanitary sewer, but we're the reclaimed water provider.
And that's what this is for?
Yes, and we're also their potable water provider.
This is water main improvements.
The water main improvement project, I believe, is at 62nd. No, I'm sorry, Paso Grill. Yeah, this is water. I'm sorry, yes.
So it's, well, Jeremy's standing up, but he'll tell us if we're wrong, but.
No, you're right.
yeah,
It's
that-
water.
So we're the water provider, they have their own sewer, and this is water project. Okay.
But we also have, we're
It
the
also
reclaimed
says sewer
provider in
improvements.
St. Pete Beach too, correct?
That's, yes, 60 seconds, so.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jeremy.
We bundled these two construction projects together to get better contract pricing. The water main project is in St. Pete Beach, the sewer project is in Leelman.
Oh, okay.
So we bundled two projects together with a single contractor to get better contractor pricing.
Okay, thanks.
Leelman or Kenneth City?
Kenneth City. Sorry,
Yes,
not the
in
beach.
City. Okay. All right, item 14 is award of bid with Southeast Drilling for well services for the utilities, and this is up at the well fields in Crossbar, Albar. This is maintenance of our well fields. Item 15 is ranking of firms with whatever this group's name is for professional engineering services. This is for the Reclaim High Service Pump Station Improvement Project, $1.6 million. Under the regular agenda, item 16 is purchasing authorization with Johnson Controls for our HVAC systems. This is piggybacking another contract. As you can see, 13.9% price increase. Item 17 is a resolution to declare county-owned property. This is for Dream Center as surplus and approve the sale. And so the bullets are within your packet.
Commissioner Scott has a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I still have some questions and concerns on this.
Tom?
It says in 2018 that the second floor was repaired, the structure was repaired to allow use for the second floor. The lease agreements were never updated to allow for the use of the second floor, and nor can I find a permit where that work was performed. So can anybody speak to that or explain that?
The work, and you referring to the work in 2018 with a significant improvement on the second floor?
Right.
Okay.
There was an estimate of $68,000 to do that work.
Yeah, that work was done by the county. We hired a contractor back in 2018. And so I don't have the information whether the county went and solicited and got a permit in 2018, but I'm going to guess that was the case back in 2018.
So, but there's two separate issues. There's the issues of the lease said that you couldn't occupy the second floor because it was uninhabitable, because it didn't have a floor, okay? And so what you've said is they put in a floor, right?
They did in 2018, the
Okay?
county did.
The lease was never updated, though, to reflect the reason. The lease was never updated to account for the second floor having improvements to it. There was a separate issue, so that isn't, whether or not they needed a permit, I don't know. The air conditioner, however, was replaced. When done
That
without
was
a
most
permit.
recently,
And
when it was replaced.
and
The
tell about
company
the-
that was hired did not pour a permit. We connected with the company, and they pour a permit after the fact and paid the fees for not doing that.
So do we have clean title on this then with?
Yes.
Okay. Is it, I'm still questioning whether this is the highest and best use of that property too. I'm just a little uncomfortable with us, more or less, we're kind of giving a piece of property to
To a nonprofit.
to a nonprofit, and its original intended use was for housing. And, to me, it seems like the Dream Center is better suited for more of a commercial or industrial area, not where it's at now. So I don't know, my preference would be that we just lease it to them, you know, and give them an opportunity to see if they can find another location to move to, and then the county have control of that property and revert it back to what his intended use originally was.
Just as a
It's
point
kind
of
of my
reference,
preference on it.
Commissioner, that we went through that exercise. In the beginning, we actually wanted to relocate the Dream Center. You know, what this item accomplished, in my opinion, is that it maintained the services of the Dream Center in the community. We heard loud and clear from the community that that was the case. But it removes the county from ongoing responsibility for the maintenance and repair of that property, which requires significant repair. So, and at the same time, ensures that the services out of that location remain to support the community. At any given time that they don't follow the agreement, the property will reverse back to the county.
Right. I've looked at the documents, you know, for the sale, and I'm comfortable that we've got adequate provisions to call that back if it was ever sold in the future. But there's just something about this whole process here that just makes me a little uneasy. I'm just not super comfortable with it.
Commissioner Eggers.
I share your concerns about it. I have for a while. I remember when this first started happening, the idea was that we are going to look high and far for other locations, and we end up even leaving the Lellman area to find other properties. And the implication was that there was no properties within Lellman, and we certainly have found out that since then there were properties in Lellman that we could have considered and didn't. And so we went looking elsewhere, and we said, oh, we couldn't find anything, it's too far away, so let's come back here. And I really think that, to Commissioner Scott's point, that this property could be utilized for the intended use, which was for housing, and that there were other possibilities within Lellman. The services, whether they're next door or a few blocks away, certainly, I think, was immaterial as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know. I just don't know that we've explored that option enough.
And Commissioner, just as a point of, go ahead.
Okay, I'm done.
Tom, did you have something you wanted to add?
It sounds like Commissioner.
Commissioner Justice?
Thank you very much. Well, I think they did, I mean, for months, I know several folks have helped the Dream Center explore different properties in Lellman, around Lellman, and the costs were not comparable. And also the location. I mean, this is in the heart of the community. The services provided are just, they're pretty irreplaceable. And if you move it further and further away from the base of the folks that they serve, I think that's problematic. I don't know. We've had few better partners in the Florida Dream Center in the service of people of Lellman. Just my 2 cents.
Talk about that, Tom, because you guys have looked for property for.
We did. We spent significant amount of time. We even, the county with facilities and economic development, we look at potential solutions. To Commissioner Justice's point, those that we found, because the market is so attractive, price was out of the reach for them, or they were removed out of the market quickly. So we went through an extensive exercise to do that. But to Commissioner Eggers' point that you made earlier, that portion, the fire station, was part of the Leoman High redevelopment for affordable housing. That particular building was going to be used for a community center, additional parking. So it didn't impact the redevelopment of that affordable housing project. And it maintained that facility for the intent of a community center. So that was the logic behind that. The facility is, as you know, has aged, and it needs significant improvement. So the strategy was to maintain the services in the community, but remove the county from that responsibility.
Any other questions? Commissioner Eggers?
And I'm sorry, just if we could refresh my my small pea brain on the flow of funds from, and how this is all working out, so we know where it's coming from and how it was. There's some confusion, for me, there's been some confusion on it, and I just want to make sure I know kind of the flow of funds, if you will.
I'm just going to tell you the end of it is because that property was purchased with penny dollars. The proceed of the sale will go back to the penny fund for affordable housing. So it will go back.
And talk about the other funds, the grant funds.
And the grant funds will be utilized for significant upgrade, and that facility needs a new roof. It needs significant improvement. So.
So,
Yeah, if we could see something,
So
you've
so-
got all this
so-
information.
So the money's, where's the money coming from? So Chris, explain it. Where's the money coming from that we're using to replace the penny funds? Okay, so let's walk through the financials on how this property redevelopment is going to occur.
Good morning, Commissioners. Chris Rose, Office of Management and Budget. So the property was originally purchased with penny funds for housing. What is happening now is the Dream Center went through the ARPA not-for-profit fund process, was awarded in that process $1.8 million. 1.2 of it was for the purchase of the property. 600,000, I'm rounding here, was for renovation of the property. The 600,000 stays ARPA. The 1.2 is essentially being put into the general fund, freeing up general fund that then pays for the purchase. That is to keep it a bit more of an arm's length transaction so that we can report that properly to the federal government and the ARPA reporting that we have to do. And so the funding stays constant. It doesn't go up or down. It's just a piece of it is general fund now and a piece is ARPA now.
And then the 600,000 will be used for the rehabilitation.
Yes.
The original money, the original money was for housing.
Yes.
I'm assuming that was coming from the housing portion of the penny funds, not the general fund.
Correct. And it was actually penny 3 originally, land assemblage, so.
Commissioner Justice.
So just to be clear, thank you. To be clear, the 1.2 goes, you said general fund, but it will be go back into housing, whatever we're calling the land assembly fund.
So the general fund will go to the Dream Center. They will then pay us back, and it will go right back into the penny.
Okay.
Any other further questions or discussion? No? Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, on to item number 18. We do have a presentation, and so I would ask Leanne to come up. This is for the purchase of the ICOP property. This is for the relocation of our county complex. We had this scheduled originally, and because of the hurricane, they couldn't make it. So we wanted, as part of this purchase, really kind of give you an update and let you hear from them. These have been our partners. They've been very good partners for a very complex project. So it's not just building buildings or doing site development. It's redevelopment for what will be a huge economic development project right here in downtown Clearwater, along with building our buildings at a new location. So with that, I'll turn it over to Leanne and let her walk through this presentation.
Yes, thank you very much. And thank you for affording CBRE the opportunity to present this morning. I'm Leanne Korst, and I'm responsible for CBRE's Southeast Region Government Practice. And here with me today is Kelly Matheson. She is our boots on the ground here in the Metro Tampa area and happens to be a resident of Pinellas County. With me also is Robert Shaw. And Robert has recent experience with ground-up construction, including headquarters facilities for FP&L and JEA right here in Florida. And then also is Bonnie Toland, and Bonnie is with Gensler, who has been our partner on a number of government projects. It's an international architecture firm, and she has been spending a lot of time with your county staff talking about the needs for the future. So many of you know who we are, but we thought it was important for those that don't to just provide a quick recap. We're the largest commercial real estate provider globally, with about 100,000 employees around the world, and are proud to be trusted by 95 out of 100 of the Fortune 500 companies for their real estate needs. Closer to home, we have 1,700 employees here in Metro Tampa, and have been serving the Tampa metro region for over 50 years. This slide depicts our government practice, recognizing that government does things just a little bit differently. I say that lovingly. I served the state of Florida for 8 years as a deputy secretary at DMS and chief of staff at Highway Safety. So I tend to look at things through that government accountability, public process, procurement, transparency kind of lens on these government real estate projects. So importantly, in getting into your site selection for the potential new headquarters facility, we mapped your county population and the weighted density. And so on this map, you can see where we are today with the blue X, and then where the weighted center is, the green X, and your site selection possibility for the ICOP property as that sort of brown X there, right by the green X. So we surveyed both on and off market opportunities really over the better part of the last year to arrive at the conclusion that the 13600 ICOP Boulevard property was not only spot on in terms of location, but the acreage and the configuration of the site really offered you a lot of opportunity and flexibility. So the image on the left is really a placeholder starting point to show how the property could lay out. But importantly, on the next slide, we're going to talk about how we would vet your specific, this board's specific input on your priorities. But it does offer the opportunity for additional consolidation of county functions, and could even offer some opportunity for revenue generation if you decided to monetize a portion of the site, for example. So timeline and site planning. So if you elect to move forward with the acquisition of the ICOT Boulevard site, we would recommend spending approximately 12 weeks going through a process to really vet your preferences and your priorities for the site and flesh that out, as well as visitor and employee circulation, and conclude that 12 weeks with a report that gives you some options and site and massing plans for the actual campus. So after closing and on a concurrent path to that site planning, we would embark on these activities from procurement to move in. And the question is usually, well, okay, when can we move in? We think it's about just over a 3-year process, and would look at potential move-in the first quarter of 2027. So in conclusion, the upcoming decision before you is acquisition of the site, and if you choose to approve, immediately start that site planning process that I mentioned earlier.
And commissioners, as we've talked about, there's a lot of opportunities on the site. It's 21 acres. Depending upon whether we do surface parking or structured parking, that gives you more, land available. Do you want to sell off the front and put restaurants there, or do you want to make it all a campus? Or we have a lot of opportunities. We'll work with them to get staff's input. We've talked about potentially like a moving fleet there. I don't know if it makes sense or not. If we have the land, we can have those discussions. And we can do that internally, bring it to you, and kind of have a charrette where we all engage and talk through the different configuration and ideas that we have, so to where we're on the same page, kind of moving forward in that site development, site design process. So this is just the beginning piece, but they have the capability and wherewithal and expertise in different disciplines to bring the things that we need to be able to make those decisions. We're going to have that same process as we get into this process, downtown Clearwater, and what we can do there, and how they've been working with with the city, and how we can work together to where we can bring both of these projects online on something that we can all be proud of.
Commissioner Eggers, do you have a question?
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just a few. So just making sure I understand, 33 million, 21 acres, $36 a square foot. How do you feel about that? Talk to me just generally about.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn that over to Kelly. Kelly has been, like I said, our boots on the ground here and has run market comps, et cetera. So I'm gonna let Kelly answer that question.
Thank you.
Hi. Just want to say real quick, thank you so much. I've been a taxpayer for over 30 years in Pinellas County, and you guys have done a really good job. So I like living here. It's really nice. We have been doing this for over a year and a half for the search of the property. Very extensive. Started off with larger boundaries geographically and have come to this spot over and over again being the best spot for what the county seems to need in their future. Regarding the pricing, we have comps for the land that we can provide you all that we have done, and the price per square foot, I mean, the price per acre comes right in line with a couple of recent sales in the past year within the county. So we feel pretty good about it. Is that the question?
Yeah, that was generally the question.
Okay.
And then the opportunities, not the downtown ones, but the opportunities on the property itself. The idea that that we're talking about right there takes up what percentage of the property? I don't know, maybe it's too early to get into that. I'm just trying to think of that other opportunity down the road, either to consolidate future facilities that we have, or,
Yeah, we don't have that exact acreage and percentage based on this diagram, but it really depends on, as you know, Commissioner, if you go vertical versus horizontal, how much structured parking, surface parking. So we can certainly provide that to you as it relates to this particular diagram, but when we go through that charrette process, and obviously there's a cost to go vertical, and there's a cost for structured parking. So this diagram really was trying to balance all of those items. We're thinking a 3-building campus that is more on the low-rise side with a combination of structured parking and surface parking makes the most economical sense. But we'll certainly go through that during that charrette process and figure out what that right balance is.
Yeah, certainly the location is pretty darn close to that. I'm not sure how you did the centering. That's kind of interesting, but it kind of fits. I've always thought about Ulmerton Road as being pretty close to the center, 19 being pretty close to the center, so you're not too far. From there.
And commissioners, we drove literally site by site, Kevin and I, with them, because access, people don't come to a county government facility every day. We found another site, for instance, but you'd have to enter off of, 128th, and find the road. And when you have your government center, there's something to be said for that easy access. For your residents. So we looked and we tried to look at balancing access and cost, and we kept coming back to the site. So that's the reason we're making that recommendation. But the process, we looked extensively all over the county, and we really wanted to find, when we started this process, something that we could rehab. We thought with the changing in the markets, you'd have commercial office going down, but there was nothing that came that was really available that you wouldn't have to add on to. And then when you started adding it and you started looking at rehabbing, the cost came in very similar, so it didn't save you, and yet you had this opportunity to kind of build your campus right. And so the benefits just kept coming back to what we presented to you a long time ago, that this is a great opportunity that'll really position the county for the next 50 years.
So, and just a question for you, and not so much for you guys, but let's, the $33 million for the purchase of the property, where's that money coming from? Taxpayers asking. And then at the same time, how do we plan to pay for the eventual construction cost of the building itself? Again, we're probably way out ahead of ourselves, but I think some general comments on that would be helpful.
Correct. So we did set aside money in the budget this year for purchase of this property. We have approximately $40 million for future facilities. That was with this in mind, but that aligned to where we'll be paying cash for this. When we presented the kind of cost estimates, and that's a range at this point, obviously, because we haven't designed, what we're looking for, that would come through a future bond issuance. So we would have to issue debt for that. We have plenty of capacity, obviously, because we don't have any debt. But there's, one of the questions that you asked early on was, what are the efficiencies that we had? Look at what we're spending on maintenance of our current facilities. Look at what the windows in your office. You can, see wind coming through. So very, very energy inefficient. So as we design that process, we'll talk about the savings that we can do, not only through efficiency of having a new building and the maintenance of that, but also opportunities, and I heard this loud and clear from you, of finding efficiencies on the way we do work and opportunities to consolidate and have one receptionist versus two. Opportunities to look at operationally how we can improve efficiency in our business model. And that's something that we are going to keep in mind and work hard at as part of this design process.
Yeah, I think the group has done amazing work in terms of looking at the downtown properties and what that could mean, putting them back on the tax rolls, what that could mean, hopefully, some of those properties that we currently own that we're no longer going to need. And the repair and maintenance of these buildings, functionally obsolete buildings, getting money, it just makes you cringe. And we still can't fix the things that are a problem, so no question. And so again, the $40 million that we have in the budget is coming out of our reserves.
Correct.
So just so folks that want to know how the reserves are being spent up front, they're coming from there. When we go to finance this project, maybe this is for our finance director, but do those land costs get factored in as well so that we can pay those reserves back through a financing mechanism?
We kind of saved for it. So for instance, your other presentation was for the North County Service Center. We saved money for that, which has been the reason we don't have debt is we saved up and we're paying for that with cash. So we've saved up for that project. So that $60 million is designated for that project. We saved up for this, okay? And we had that conversation about reserves, but we saved up for that. We could issue debt to recapture that, but that'll be part of our financing plan. I doubt we would need to because we have strong reserves. So but we can have that conversation at that time.
Well, I've always, everybody's always said that it's just great that we don't have any debt. There are times when debt is really cheap to get.
Correct.
Now, it's not so much today as it was, say, 4 years ago or even 3 years ago. But I don't want to just lose cash necessarily if the debt opportunities are reasonable. So just as not for today's conversation, but
we'll have a
for the record.
schedule and we'll have ideas and thoughts on that at that time.
Anyway, again, great job over the last months, if you will, or a year that you guys have done great stuff. So I really appreciate getting that multifaceted view. So thank you.
Commissioner Flowers.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And along the lines from Commissioner Eggers, I was thinking even if we do a bond issuance, once the sale of any properties for downtown occurs, then revenue from those sales can go to pay that bond issuance as long as we're not penalized for paying off the debt early, which would, I think, be a good business decision.
Yeah, Commissioner, that's a really good point, and that's some of the things we're going to have to think through. That we could do a short-term borrowing for the portion that we expect to get back. That way, we're not issuing long-term debt for that until the sale goes through. We can do some financing structures, but that's a really good point. So we'll think through that and present some ideas as we get when we come and start looking at that financing plan. But that's a really good thought because you're right. That land is very valuable, and we intend to be getting money back through that sale.
Yeah. I'm really familiar with this area. I used to work at Gulf Coast, which is right down ICOT behind this facility. If any of us want to go ice skating, the skating rink is behind here, and just so you know, the Tampa Bay Lightning practice back there. So that was real interesting for me to drive up and just see who's getting out. Anyway, yes, I said that. Poor light players. Jewel ain't catch that. A couple of things I think I've said before, but I just want to say with you guys standing here. Years ago, this was a automotive car sale lot. So I just want to make sure that any cleanup or whatever is taken care of before we move in there. Now, I do know that the facility, the building that's currently there with the real nice glass front is really cute. And then they kind of broke out into pieces some of the other functions because you had about 6 or 7 different businesses that were operating there. But they did a lot of renovation and rehab on that facility that's currently there. So I don't know, but I'm sure you guys will check that out and do whatever needs to be done there. But when you were talking about maybe small businesses or restaurants, to be good neighbors, when you go right across the street, there's several little restaurants, delis, and things like that that are really, really good. Cafe Pont was there. I used to love that place.
They closed down.
Yeah, I went into convulsions when they closed. Yeah, but there are several delis and things like that. So, and massage things. Regions Bank moved, but Truist is around the flip. So, just want to be good neighbors. Want to be thoughtful about being good neighbors with whatever we may have that it enhances and not kind of steps on them to be good neighbors in. Anything regarding the traffic patterns, because that's a heavily trafficked road. The light is at 58th, which turns into, folks going down to the epicenter, and they can shoot through to come to the other side. But the turn in heading back east, there is no light or anything there. And so depending on traffic, you can be sitting there for a good little while. I don't know if any potential traffic impact studies may facilitate the conversation for a light there, because it literally would be a block, which is typically what you get, a light for a light. So anyway, just thinking about that for safety reasons. I love the fact that, there are 2 bus stops right there as well. So anyone that needs to come there, and since it would be facing the facility is right close to Almerton, that will be really good ingress and egress for anyone coming in and coming out. Would love to make sure that we have some covering. I know we talked about that for the plan that we just heard about, North County, when persons are in inclement weather and whatnot, having the ability to be out somewhere. Would love to see some solar somewhere in here to help us save some money from Duke Energy. No offense, Duke. I know going up could be an option. It helps you save. I think the highest structure along that corridor is the Hampton Inn Hotel, which is about 6 floors, I think. I don't think we're going up 6 floors, but, something that's compatible with the community, with the place in there.
Sorry.
Yes, sir.
Just to answer a couple of your questions. Yes, commissioners, we have environmentals. So we've done all the environmental in terms of cleanup, et cetera, and stuff, and factored that in, all right, so first.
Okay.
2, the AdCop property actually has covenant restrictions on the overall development. So we'll have to comport to that and be a good neighbor and be part of that development. So the traffic light is a great question. That's something that we'll have to do traffic warrants on to see if it meets. But we may have site considerations if it doesn't meet that for a warrant. We may want to work with the rest of the owners and look at traffic circulation to where the site works, overall, and people can easily get over to this, and we do signage and stuff. So that is something that we'll look at. Having your government facility be accessible is going to be very important. So those are some of the site conditions that we have thought about and we'll be working on as part of this process.
And final comment, I think this is a good location. It has a lot around it. Certainly clear shots going up Almerton Road, getting on US 19. And like I said, I worked in the area for like 13 years, so it has a lot of other things going on around there, printing companies and things like that. So I think this would be a good fit in there, and probably will be welcomed by some of those delis and whatnot for people going over for lunch. But I think it's a good site selection. My last question is, what about the owners of the property as it relates to, I know we'll be taking this up on our next agenda, so they're good with the time frame?
Well, they're pushing us. They want to be able to close by the end of the year.
Okay, so I was just asking,
And, but we do have one issue that you received a letter on, because, we have a flea market out there, right? we don't necessarily want to be in the flea market business, but we need to find a way of working with them,
they
you
can
know,
go somewhere
and they're working with economic development to help them find another site and things like that. So we're going to have to work through that. Obviously, it's a liability issue, you know, and so that is something that we're going to have to work through. So, but we'll work through it, and we'll come back to you with recommendations.
Commissioner Scott.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't know if these questions are for you all or not, or just Barry and us here, but so there were 3 appraisals. There were two county appraisals, and then there was a seller's appraisal. The 2 appraisals from the county basically came in at about $27 million. The seller's appraisal came in at $33.2 million, or right about there, which included $7.5 million for the existing structures,
Correct.
which we're going to scrape,
Correct.
which is going to cost about $4 million. So it really puts this cost of acquiring this property up over $37 million. And if another user, let's say a multifamily unit or something, was going to buy that property, they wouldn't probably pay for those buildings. So why are we using the seller's appraisal in this process? It appears to me that we're possibly overpaying.
Hi, Kevin Knutson, Assistant County Administrator. When we did our appraisal, we did not take into account the Live Local Act, which changes the ability to use the property for other uses, including affordable housing. And when the seller did theirs, they asked the broker to include that. So we went back to our brokers and said, does this make sense given that addition? They didn't give us a new opinion. We didn't pay for a new appraisal, but we got some agreement that, yeah, it does make sense if you take that into account. And we had not. I don't know exactly how that impact would work in that space. I don't know how much of the property could be used for that, but that was the estimate based on what the Live Local Act says.
And as I've briefed you individually, I mean, you're kind of working with, it's a buyer and a seller, and you're trying to find a price where that can work. Our appraisal said that we were close. There's a lot of factors that go into that appraisal. So, you know, we had to account for that, but frankly, it was the perfect site. And so what's that worth? If we went to a new site, now we're having to make access issues and things like that. So given the totality of everything, we thought it was that's certainly not what they asked for the property. And it's a unique piece of property. Not too many places can you find 20 acres that is centrally located, that's on a bus route and accessible to our parts of the county in Pinellas County.
Who's representing the seller?
Yeah, the seller is represented by Shane Crawford, and he's with his license is registered with a Keller Williams office, I believe, on the beach.
Got it, okay. So there's a competing site as well, the Herod Properties site. So can you talk about the advantages and disadvantages of that site? There is some significant cost savings with the other site, and it is larger. There's 27 acres back there versus the 21 acres.
Yeah, we did study it, and actually have some real concerns about whether or not there is cost savings. On the surface, it looks like there would be, but when we had Gensler take a look at the interiors and the modernization, both Robert and Bonnie walked those properties. So they, you would be effectively moving from old buildings into old buildings, but spending a lot to renovate them, akin to what you would be doing if you stayed here. So we looked at what it would cost to renovate the interiors. We don't know what the capital needs are. We haven't done a facility condition assessment on the buildings, but the interior modernization would be quite extensive. And as Barry has alluded to previously, the site circulation would be tough. For example, your development services would probably need to go in the northwest corner of the site, and circulation would be difficult for the big trucks to get in and out of. So when we looked at the totality of and we have a financial analyst who runs our numbers for us and brings everything back on an MPV basis. It was, I think, a $25 million difference on an MPV basis over a 50-year period, savings to go to that alternate site.
Without considering ADA issues.
Correct.
Without considering things like there's no opportunity to add security into the building So like the front building would be judicial complex. We need to put security in there, so we weren't even factoring those things in. So there was just so many unknowns that we felt the risk wasn't worth their potential reward.
And I would just
But
ask,
let me also say, that build, or that one is the one that we showed you. We looked at sites up over by the airport. We looked at, what is that area? Yeah, like data tech or tech data, that's it. You know, we were looking at a campus environment back there. So we went through a series over a year of alternative sites because it really was our preference to bring you something that we could renovate, but it had to meet some of those, you know, conditions. And so that was the one that you see, but there were several others that we did at a staff level.
Did we look at demoing, what the cost would be of demoing the buildings, existing buildings that are back there?
I'm going to turn that over to Robert to answer.
Good morning, Robert Shaw with CBRE. We did look at those costs, and in fact, one of the buildings they were suggesting that we demoed, which is currently a manufacturing facility, and the costs still come out to not a significant savings, plus the time lost of demoing and starting new. So we don't think that was a viable option.
Yeah, and there's things such as access. You know, the site we're recommending is on a bus line. You've got a bus line, but you've got a very large campus. If somebody from a bus would have access to the back of the campus to get service. So there was just so many factors that it at some point it didn't, you know, we just felt this was a much better recommendation.
So just doing some quick math, I think I don't know if it was the high end of developing this site was somewhere around $941 a square foot. But the North County site, just doing some quick math, was like $582 a square foot. So there's a pretty big difference.
I did the same math when Tim was presenting those numbers. He was at like 564. Right. We're talking for brick and mortar on the building, you know, somewhere between $600 to $900 a square foot. The numbers we'd shown you earlier had the parking garage mixed in at 425,000 square feet because we didn't know at the time if we were going to have to go vertical. This property provides a lot more opportunities to spread out and provide maybe some cheaper options, not only for the buildings, but also for the parking.
I did that math with the parking garages factored into the North County as well. And it was still, like, this site was just way more expensive than that, and I'm just
I think this is a budget that they don't want to exceed because I would be not happy. So it probably is very much on the high end because we haven't designed anything yet.
Right. And we're sure that the Bardmore site, even with our low, middle, and high estimates, that there's no. My goal is we do this and we don't have to raise general fund taxes to do this. So we're talking about a 50-year, $300 million decision, and we got a lot of information given to us last Thursday. So I want to make sure that we have time to digest this. I'm not quite sure that I've actually had enough time to digest it yet, so I'm almost thinking, can we hit the pause button until the end of the year to give us a little more time to digest this? And maybe even go out there and walk the properties ourselves just to sort of see and make sure, because this is such a long-term decision, we want to make sure we do it right.
Well, Commissioner, we obviously can if that's a will of the commission. The issue is obviously the part of this sale was to close by the end of the year.
Right. Well, I think the contract right now says November 30th, I think it was.
Well, right, but if we wait until the December meeting, so we only have one meeting in November, one meeting in December, it'd be very difficult to get a closing in by the end of the year. But the Bardmore site was not new, okay? We looked at that 6 months ago, you know, or more. They came back with a different proposal. And in good faith to show you that we are looking, we asked them to go back and relook at it and walk that site. So we had discounted it as not the preferred site. Location, too many risks in terms of renovation and things like that, and because it didn't create the campus environment that we really thought would be very beneficial for our residents. And so we had discounted that. They came back with a proposal. And so we put that on CBRE. CBRE did the report that, I shared with you. So that was a secondary, and to CBRE's credit, and Robert especially, I mean, they moved like that, and got out on site to where we could comfortably say that we think that regardless of what we would find, we still think this is the recommended method and site. But again, to your point, if you do, we'll go back to the seller, but it would probably delay closing. There's tax implications to that, obviously, for them, so we'd have to talk to them about that.
And Barry, would you like Bonnie to talk a little bit? Bonnie studied that Bardmore site very closely. Would you like for her to provide some commentary?
Absolutely.
So I don't look at the financials. I look at the function and how it can be used. So I can't answer the financial question. But for that site, one of our main concerns was that it wasn't entirely contiguous space. And so you wouldn't end up with that solid campus experience, because you had some of the locations cut with other functions in the middle, other parking spaces in the middle at a distance. So that was a concern. Secondly, if you're talking about trying to repurpose the buildings, they're not hardened for hurricane. We'd have to go through the ADA process of bringing them up to code. But then also you want things like the courts, which likely require a higher ceiling, and those existing buildings don't offer that. And you can't, for security, the goal was to have a shared security entrance for administration and court. And there's no opportunity in that site to do that unless you were to completely flatten it. One of the options included an industrial or a manufacturing building with tenants in it. I don't think you want manufacturing neighbors. I don't think that's the neighbor you want. I think you'd rather have the deli next to you than to have someone manufacturing next to you. And it also poses a bit of security risk as well for that.
And the security was a big piece because, that's operating cost. And if we have to duplicate that for an administration building and for a court system, then, it's duplicate ongoing operating cost. But
Commissioner Scott, are you finished?
Yes.
Okay, Commissioner Justice.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I've been making notes all along, and a lot of my questions were been covered about better access for residents and security. The repayment, when we did the first presentation, I thought that was a big part of selling off the property was going to finance this whole thing. Opportunity for the fleet relocation and to free up that land on Ulmerton, potentially for another use. Opportunity for and retail or restaurant on the front side if we're able to build a campus right with access. Address the environmental concerns. The work efficiency, I think, is one that is really something that our employees and residents will see the biggest benefit, quite frankly, is to have departments functioning next to departments and access, and for our permitting, and they go in and it's one-stop shopping kind of thing. I think all of that opportunity is really, really going to be nice. I did have a question. It has a Clearwater address. I don't know if it's improper or what, but we're planning to take steps that we need to take to cover that part of things, correct?
We are. We have put together what you all would do is take action, and this is pursuant to state statute, and we've discussed this a little bit here in the past. You don't move the county seat. There's a process to do that, but that's not what we would be proposing for you all. What state statute provides is a mechanism to expand the boundaries of the current county seat. So we've put together a resolution that would be for your consideration. You're required to conduct 2 public hearings on it, so we'd be looking at bringing it to you early next year, early 2024. And we'd be looking at, and I will tell you, frankly, I've touched base with the constitutional officers on this to make sure that none of them have concern. Many of them do have offices, be it their main one or otherwise, that are located down kind of off Ulmerton already. So we put together our thoughts on the appropriate boundaries for that expansion. But again, it would be expanding the boundaries of the current county seat, and that's something that we would be bringing to you early next year.
Thank you. And then the only other thing I had was that, and might be a simple little thing, but assuming this all happens and then everything's hunky-dory, that the address, we have an Ulmerton Road address. We changed that from ICOT to Ulmerton just for better understanding of where it is.
Good question. And for clarification, the site is actually in the city of Largo.
Well, I will tell you, you get a Clearwater, because I sorry, I worked at Gulf Coast, so our address, it said Clearwater, Florida. But when you receive services, it's the Largo Police Department, so it's.
And we had a conversation with the mayor and new city manager the other night. Their council's been briefed on this, and so they immediately brought up, what are the opportunities to work together? What about sharing fleet? What about doing this? And so we'll begin that process. We also identified that we have to work with our judicial partners and whether they stay here or move down there, and so we're in that process. So that'll all be part of that site planning process.
Any more? Commissioner Eggers.
Yeah, just real quickly to Brian's question on the appraisal. I just want to make sure I'm clear. The $27 million that we did did not take into account the expanded use of residential.
Of Live Local, right?
Right. So the fact that could be allowed on there raises the value. I'm assuming, it seems to me that multifamily land costs are higher than commercial costs. Somebody?
Back to them.
The land is, what the seller wants to sell it for. So, but no, land is, it just depends on where the location is and what it's zoned for. So, yeah, multifamily is usually obviously a lot more expensive than industrial land. But, again, we think that this land is a good price, and we have some comps for that, and so we can get that to you.
And this is zoned what? I'm sorry, maybe I missed that.
The existing zoning, do you know what the existing zoning is? We don't have that right now. Can't recall.
All right, and at the end of the year thing, I'm not a tax expert, but certainly if we decided to go forward with this thing this year, the certainty of it, I think, would make a seller more comfortable. Again, I'm not going to get into his tax implications for him on any of this stuff, but I don't want that necessarily dictating when we make a decision. But I think for us to make a decision this year, so he knows we're done, we're ready to move forward, would be comforting in itself. So again, I want to make sure that everybody's comfortable that they've got the information that's needed. You talked about the charter. This is not a charter issue then, right? We don't have to deal with that as it relates to the county seat. Okay, that's all I have for now. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? So I would like to move forward on it. I think you've done a lot of due diligence on this over a period of time. I understand it's a big project, and it's something we can't take lightly. But the cost of staying where we're at, and, well, we won't get into my feelings of the building and where we're at.
Thank you.
So I just think that we need to move forward. Quite frankly, I wish it would be quicker than 3 years. But yeah, I really don't want to wait. I think we get into the money issues when we start the design. That's really when we're going to kind of get into the other hard costs. And I do believe, the sale of the properties that we own are going to cover a lot of it. So I'm confident to move forward. And I truly hope the rest of the commission will consider that as well.
I'm sorry, I did have one other question, and I'll be done.
Commissioner Eggers.
I promise I'll be done. Huh? You don't believe me?
No, I said it's about the fence.
No. It's really about the funding mechanism. So, and again, I know this isn't necessarily for the discussion, but in a way it is, so that we have money for the purchase of the property. We're going to bond it, and there's a cost associated, a carrying cost for that. Where's it coming from? Which departments are going to be plugging into that? Kind of like what are the savings that we're going to get from the maintenance side? It goes against those costs that we're talking about. If a rental cost is $1,000 a month, but our maintenance is $400 a month, that's real.
Yep.
And to Commissioner Flowers' comment and Commissioner Justice's comment, the capital that we get from the sale of all of our properties can definitely go towards the capital side.
So most of this is going to be general fund. Okay, there's no question. However, there may be, segments that are built within it, depends, that would cover some of that cost. The cost, we know we're spending a couple $1 million a year, in maintenance, on our current facility. We know the utilities. I think that's a more utilities side that you were talking about. So we got several million. So now we have to get into what we build and what the cost of operating that would be. And then we'll show you what that pro forma looks like. And so we'll show you the general fund savings that'll then be applied towards that debt service. We know we have an estimate, 60 to 80 million off of the land for this, for the current facility. That again would bring that cost down, so that brings that bond issuance down. And depending on how we do that financing, and again, we'll get to the pro forma once we get into that design process.
Okay, thank you.
But I don't know what the efficiencies are because that we can build in because we haven't designed anything yet. But I know that is a concern, and that's something that we're going to work hard on.
Any more discussion? Okay. Next.
Great. All right. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Okay. Item number 19 is a resolution on the scoring matrix for the applications for the ad valorem tax exemption program. You'd asked for this past year. Cynthia's here if you have questions, but this presents a scoring matrix that we can use for those programs. So if you have, are there questions? I'll bring Cynthia up. If not, we'll move on. Okay, item 20 is an agreement with directions for mental health and first option renewal with Operation PAR. This is for homeless individuals. The program is broken down with the funding sources within your packet and where the funding is going. These are ongoing programs. Funding recommendation on item 21 for Alcohol and Drug Trust Fund. These are court fees that go towards this program. They make recommendations to you on how to use the funds. Item 22 is a grant with law enforcement for the crime lab. And so no match requirement. They use that in their support. Item 23 is an interlocal agreement, Florida Department of Health. This is for their program and for the health care for the homeless program. So, and again, the two amounts are broken down within your packet. Item 24 is Land and Conservation Fund grant agreement with the Florida Department of Environmental Protection for Rainieri Community Park Phase 1, $1.5 million funds with county match to help offset the overall project cost. This comes from, this is penny 4, right? Yeah. Item 25, sub-separate agreement with Gulf Consortium for Restorer funding for acquisition of floodplain properties. And while, not to get off topic, but we're working really hard with our Tri-Cities Mobile Home Park, Twin Cities Mobile Home Park, I'm sorry. And because, we had Mariners Cove that flooded, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and we issued temporary occupancy permits because if we didn't, then people don't have a place to live. Well, we have kind of the same issue, and the problem is Mariners Cove is still there. No one's left, right? And if somebody did leave and it's a rental, they put somebody else in that. So we're never going to be resilient. We're never going to change that situation. So I've asked staff to work as a team to work with those residents. And there's some articles out that kind of distort it a little bit, but the idea is to work with the residents, but every situation's a little different. I'm not concerned if somebody's a landowner and they have rentals. I want to make sure that we help people transition to housing, decent housing. But some of the rents are just so low, there is no place to go for that. But we have properties that are flooding, okay? And you know what happens when you have a mobile home that floods, and then they don't want to identify it because they don't want to lose a place to live, but it becomes unsanitary conditions. And so it's a really tough situation, but I want you to know your team is working hard, both from code enforcement to our Lourdes and Karen's team, working from a compassion standpoint and trying to figure out solutions along with grants and going after FEMA funds and other things to try to improve the situation. I don't want to sit in here 5 years from now and nothing's changed. But this is not an easy fix, and it's going to take time, and we're actually going to spend some funds to have direct assistance people to try to help them figure out their individual systems and how to get them help. But I wanted you to be aware of it because it's just a very complex problem, and you know that people are they're doing what they can do because they don't have any other choice, and the rental market's just crazy, you know. So I know it's off topic, but I just wanted you to be aware of that. Okay, 26 is an agreement with City of Clearwater to fund, this is our portion of their fire station for the unincorporated areas, $1.1 million, $10 million project. Item 27 is a change order for PACL construction for the Dunn Water Reclamation Facility. Let's see. The change order included some additional testing, and then basically they had more site remediation that occurred during the project. That'll come from the water fund. Correct? Yeah. Sewer fund? Oh, this is sewer? I'm sorry. Sewer fund. It's all water reclamation. I should know what reclamation means. Okay, item 28 is interlocal agreement with Hillsborough County and Pinellas County commissions to establish the Hillsborough-Pinellas Workforce Development Consortium.
I have a question on that one. So at that time, are we voting for the two representatives? Because I don't see voting for the two representatives on the agenda, and I know that has to be done on Tuesday's meeting.
Where did Kevin go? Steve's here, though. Come on up, Steve, because I don't want to, or can't answer that. I heard the first part.
Well, I think it should be a separate agenda. I think it's supposed to be a separate agenda item, but I just want to confirm if it's locked in that.
Appointments.
Because I know, Kevin, you said that we have to do those appointments right away. I don't see the appointments on the agenda, so is it part of this agenda item for this? You know, we got this, we're doing this interlocal agreement, but I don't see on the agenda voting for the two people that are going to sit on that board.
That's correct. Kevin Knutson, Assistant County Administrator. We've asked the chair to include that during her commissioner comments at the end of
Okay. All right, so it wasn't posted, but we will be putting that in.
That is correct,
then.
yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
At the last meeting, she had shared that she was recommending myself and Commissioner Latvala to serve.
Correct, yeah.
Item 29's
Who gonna
county.
bail us out?
Item 29's county attorney reports. 30's county administrator reports. 31's appointments. This is for the construction licensing board. One plumbing contractor to fill. Item 32's appointments and reappointments to the Palm Harbor Services Community Services Agency. They're listed within your packet. 33 is appointments to the Parks and Conservation Resources Advisory Board. Again, 6 reappointments. Item 34 is reappointments to the Pinellas Opportunities Council. And item 35 is the selection of the 2024 chair and vice chair.
Is it a 5-year term? That just seems awfully long.
Why does Kevin keep leaving?
I mean, I've never
Or
seen
no,
a 5-year
no, this is
appointed
Lourdes.
term
Actually.
before.
Do you know anything about this?
Have they?
I don't know. I don't know what the Opportunity Council does. So
Kevin, we need you.
It's what?
I'm sorry. That's typically POC's service
I've been here
term
5 years. I don't know
agreement.
what they do. So.
Do you know? Anybody know?
Commissioner Scott, you want to repeat the question? Kevin was in the room.
So item 34
It's
is
not Kevin.
we're
Sorry.
appointing Steve Cleveland for a term of 5 years at the Pinellas Opportunity Council. One, what is the Pinellas Opportunity Council? And two, 5 years. I've just never seen a appointed term for 5 years.
So I just know we don't technically work with them. I just know from my previous job, the Pinellas Opportunity Council helps, you know, let's say there's an elderly person that needs help in their home with cleaning services, chore services, they're called. They connect those people, so they do a lot in the community for those that are underserved and need help.
Okay. What community are we talking, just countywide or just?
I believe it is countywide, although it's in St. Pete.
Countywide. Okay. And in 5 years is what they normally do? That's it, I guess? All right.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
I was just gonna share. Yeah, Pinellas Opportunity Council is actually the organization that was started way before the Pinellas County Urban League came into existence. And its original service constructs was weatherization programs for seniors. Over the years, it began to grow. And so now they do rental assistance, they have a summer youth employment component piece that they've added in. They still do the weatherization, which is windows for seniors that don't have air conditioning. They do fans and things like that. They participate in supporting seniors who unfortunately have been scammed and things like that, helping to redirect for services. They've always had that 5-year piece. That's a part of their structure. Yeah, that's a part of their structure. But they've been in the community for years. They do have offices in North County. So their main hub is in St. Pete. Actually, they rent space from us in our building downtown. They're on the
Obviously not. I didn't know they were.
POC is in our judicial building, our civil courthouse right there, and then we have the little slim piece when you go in and take the elevator above where our SOE, above where our SOE offices. They're upstairs, so they actually rent space from us there. They used to be somewhere else, but then they moved into that building a couple of years ago. But just been real productive and real active in the community, but it was kind of like the linchpin of how the urban leagues got started. It was like the conduit to provide those services to those people. And Patty Sawyer is the executive director.
Okay, just not to gloss over it, 35 is the selection of the 2024 chair and vice chair. Then you'll have reports. Item 37 is, so a lot of the items that are going to follow are related to the form-based code in Lellman, and so there's different pieces to this. I'll cover each one, but they're all related. So the first part is to change, from the countywide map from low, medium, semi-office, et cetera, to multimodal corridor. This is for the community redevelopment area, and this will be implemented by the adoption of the form-based code, which is the follow-on items. So the 38 is the second public hearing to establish the form-based code. And if I get off on these, Tom, let me know. 39 is the second public hearing for the redevelopment area. 40 is the first public hearing for the land development code to adopt the form-based code. 41 is the first public hearing to change the zoning for the community redevelopment area. And I think that's the rest of all of those. Okay, so those are all related to implementation of the form-based code that we previously discussed. Item 42 is a request for a zoning change, 5.4 acres on the east side of East Lake Drive. This is a development master plan. So they can take 3 residential units and 2 maintenance storage buildings for 3 this is so they can develop into 3 residential units and 2 multi-use buildings. It was unanimously approved by the LPA, and no one leveled any objection. Oh, one letter of concern was received. Item 43 is a request for a zoning change from planned residential development to single-family. 1.8. This is a single-family home being proposed. No one appeared in opposition. And 44 is a resolution. So this is kind of a cleanup resolution. So there's a lot of things in here. And Chris is obviously here. But this is operating budget of unanticipated revenues, star center funds to realign various things. So recognizes $900,000 of revenue that was unanticipated, and that'll be put into the reserves. Recognizes $400,000 of unanticipated revenue in the Star Center to go into reserves. Recognizes $70,000 in unanticipated revenues to go into the street lighting district. It realigns $2.4 million in general fund reserves and $17,000 for retirement benefits, $70,000 transfer to the, and so these are the things from before. So you're recognizing revenue and putting it over into expenses. The street lighting district, for instance, the cost came in higher, and so you're putting the money in to be able to pay for those costs. But each one of those are outlined here, and so yeah, Chris is available to answer any questions.
Do we know where the unanticipated revenue come from?
So the first two, the 900 and 400, are just balancing previous amendments that we had done. We just had only done the expenditure side, so we need to do the revenue side. That's all that is, the first two. The second one, which is the 70,000 of street lighting, the raise in Duke energy prices pushed us over the top, so this is to meet that is what it's coming from. That's actually coming from the general fund, the 70,000.
Okay, got it.
And then, let's see, the 17,200 is retirement benefits, also from the general fund. 70,000 we already talked about. 2.371 is Hurricane Ian that will eventually be reimbursed as we bring in the FEMA money. And then the final three that total a very small amount is just the loan carrying costs for those three FIXA areas. And we did not budget the internal loan carrying costs for those three. So we're just meeting that, and it's coming out of their money.
Okay, great, thank you.
That concludes the agenda. Did want to mention, if I can, a couple things, and because I know Commissioner Peters wants to talk about something. But along that lines, Commissioner Peters asked that, got involved, you heard there was a bill that would eliminate this PCCLB. The real question is to why, because, you know, as we saw a year ago, when the bill was filed that eliminated specialty license, you had unintended consequences. All of a sudden, you had people that couldn't do work, you know, because they couldn't pull a permit if they didn't have a license. Well, we looked at this, and I give all the credit to Tom and to Don, because they really dug into this and said, yeah, what they were asking and what they were concerned with, the lobbyists, was that you have to get a license from, you can get either a local license or you can get a state license. But under the original act, not something that the PCCLB did, which was a misunderstanding, you have to register with the local PCCLB. That was in the original act. So you have to, in essence, get a state license and you have to register locally. So the request was, can we eliminate that you have to register locally? And so we looked at that and we actually agree with it. It says that it eliminates a duplication. If we go out on site, we can simply look whether you have a state license or whether you have a local license. And so it really is an easy fix, but it was a lot of work because Don dug through a very antiquated special act that was created many years ago, establishing the PCCLB, and there are many things that just didn't apply anymore because laws have changed, because they don't codify special acts. And so then legislation changes, numbers change, and the act doesn't necessarily follow. So he did a whole kind of rewrite of that. We met with Commissioner Peters and with the lobbyists that want to file that bill, and we're in agreement. And it's a simple fix, but that is, I wanted to make you aware that it is something that we support. And it makes it simpler for people that want to do business here. Okay? And then
what I will tell you is it was a
you.
lot of work. It was a lot of work for Don. It was a lot of probably frustration for Tom. But they did, and Jewel, he did an amazing job. And I think maybe staff felt like they're getting bullied into it. But I think the cleanup now will be good. It'll be good all the way around. So I just kudos to
And we learned something because, you know, Don has a history with that. We learned that if we just eliminated the PCCLB, guess what? 24 cities could create their own. And so right now, there is a centralization that makes it easier. So it actually, it's counterproductive to what they thought was being intended. So anyway, it worked out.
It
okay?
did work out. And there were other issues at PCLB that we have to have that entity for the erosion control line,
Correct.
because DEP doesn't want to work with all the beaches. So it was critical that we didn't eliminate PCLB, but it was also important that we came online with Florida statutes. And by rewriting what he did, kind of will codify it so we don't have to have 13 different versions to look at throughout his, it's complicated, but he did an outstanding job, and I can't say enough about it. And Tom had a great exercise in patience, I think. So, anyways, they did a great job.
Then you want to talk about beach nursery?
Well, I was going to have everyone do their updates, and I was
Okay.
going to do the rest, so thank you. Commissioner Scott, you have an update? Well, you can do it on Tuesday if you prefer. Okay. Okay, how about you, Commissioner? Tuesday?
I have one update that I wanted to mention, and that is to thank Commissioner Scott, Commissioner Flowers, and yourself because of the action of the PSTA board that the four of us sit on. As of tomorrow, all veterans in Pinellas County will be able to ride PSTA buses for free.
Yes, and I'm really proud of that move. So, yeah, I'm glad. Thank you for attending. So the other thing I was just going to add, I felt like we had a good day yesterday. You know, Kelly Levy has worked really, really hard on the Army Corps issues, as you all know. And then we hired, a firm to assist us with that. And after our trip to D.C., Barry called me and said that she felt good after meeting with the committee, but still wasn't feeling very confident after meeting with Army Corps. Would you mind calling Senator Scott, since you have a relationship with him? So I want to tell you, I gave him a call on his cell phone, and he responded very quickly. He and his staff met with Army Corps yesterday. His staff called me right after the meeting to let me know that they are feeling good, not to get too excited, but they are feeling good that Army Corps has stated to the senator that they recognize there is a problem. The senator gave him to around Thanksgiving to come back to him with some kind of resolution. So I think the senator has really taken this one really seriously, and his staff are saying, don't get too optimistic, but we're feeling confident we might get some movement. So I just want to put a kudos out to the senator and his staff. And, and Kelly and the firm, the word has gotten out. He certainly has been hearing from other counties around the state. And so I'm just appreciative of his taking an initiative to take this really seriously. So, I think it's important, and I've said to Barry since I came on board, is when you've got commissioners that have relationships with other elected officials, I think it's important that we use those relationships. And so this was a great opportunity to use one of those relationships, and we, all of us have relationships with people that once in a while we're going to need to make those phone calls. And so, I appreciate you letting me, get engaged and do that. So thank you. Jewel.
If I could just say one thing, kind of quickly going back to the agenda, on item number 42, I know as we kind of passed over this quickly, no opposition at the LPA, but my office has been contacted very recently. A citizen has engaged an attorney, so you're going to see some level of opposition at your hearing on Tuesday. That is correct, and it's item number 42. It's Cypress Run, which is a development up in like the East Lake area.
Okay. Thank you for the heads up. Anything else?
So if you want to hear my staff report on that, contact Tom and he'll arrange that. They can brief you on the staff report as issued.
Okay. So no other discussion? Then this meeting's adjourned. Thank you very much.